Okay, so we've finally managed to enter the Silent Forest.
Yes.
The borders have a really thick foliage. That's pretty much as dense as that one.
I wonder if that's like magical to keep people out, maybe?
Yeah.
I figured. Yeah.
It is. There's a kind of an enchantment upon it that just rings the entire forest.
I'm guessing the characters would know that because Imogen would probably know that.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
it's pretty common knowledge.
It's pretty common knowledge,
okay.
yeah. The reason it's called the Silent Forest is because it's ringed in, because the barrier sort of blocks friendly and unfriendly ears from hearing things and seeing things, unfriendly eyes like from seeing things. It's very, very quiet. All you ever hear out of it is sort of the noise of birds and other forest animals. You never hear anything that's spoken by people or, the races that live there. It's enchanted that way.
Okay.
So, it's well known that the Silent King is very much about his solitude, doesn't really partake much in the affairs of the other elven kingdoms.
The cat is going to cat jail. Oh, no.
This isn't good for the video.
He's hungry, yeah.
Okay. Alright, so he's known for being pretty solitary. He barely gets involved in the affairs of the other elven kingdoms, and he's known even for participating in...
Reminds me of Legolas's dad, almost.
He's kind of like that,
I know, it's
but even less involved in non-elven affairs, I would say.
So he's completely sealed off, basically, from the outside world.
He is. People don't just call him the Silent King because he's the king of
That's
the Silent
true, okay.
Forest.
Okay.
It's because they never, see or hear from him, so...
And then, nah, stop asking questions.
No, you can ask questions.
How long has he been around for? Like, how long has he been...
About 2,000 years.
And that's common knowledge? I'm assuming this is all basic question. Okay.
So, for context, Elbreth's been around for about 3,000 years. So he's one of the younger elven... He's actually the second youngest.
He's only 2,000 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And whereas, Elbreth is 3,000 years old, Ebereth is...
he's not hip with the kids.
Actually, he's probably the most hip with the kids. Ebereth is... 2,500, I would say, around that. So he's younger, but
I just wanted a bit of an idea before I go in.
No, that's fine.
As long as it's character knowledge, I'm good. It's
character knowledge. Of course it is.
Yeah.
You can always ask me questions.
And just so you know, wizards can do special checks with knowledge for ancient lore that's forgotten. Imogen might know.
That's kind of her specialty.
That's she might know a bit more about this place than a normal person.
If it comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so as they're walking through, Santee says, "Well, it certainly lives up to its namesake. This place is quiet as fuck.
Another.
I don't like it.
Another brush of trees to cut through.
Yeah, and the quiet reminds me of that one Minotaur maze. Remember when we couldn't hear anything? Because there were no birds or animals."
That's right. Well, it is called the Silent Forest, is it not?
Yeah, but I find it kind of disquieting. No pun intended.
No, I can agree with you there.
Imogen's like, you totally meant that pun. It was terrible.
Dara says, I think it was a lovely pun.
Thank you, Adara. Imogen's a bitch. So, Sandy also says, we'll keep our eyes out for those guards you mentioned. I'm guessing a person like the Silent King, from what we know of him, is going to have a pretty heavy guard around the borders. He's not going to want any strangers coming in. I mean, I know we've come in kind of stealthily.
Sarah's going to be like, well, isn't that good? Don't we want to be found?
Yeah, exactly, we do. We just don't want to be taken prisoner.
how would how would they know? How would? Never mind.
It's just, we're kind of slinking in from a hidden path. And I know we've got the letter and everything, but
we
the
are
guards...
fully armed. Yeah.
We're fully armed. We have magic weapons, and although we do have a letter with Elbereth's seal, the guards don't know what his seal looks like. They could think it's just fake.
Dora's gonna be like, well, I guess they might think we're here to assassinate the king.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. And we're just like, oh, great.
Just make sure you don't say it too loudly.
Sandy's like, well, shit. That's kind of what I do. And Gale's like, do you want me to go ahead and check it out?
So I think that's a great idea. Just be careful in the foliage.
It's like, yep, I gotcha.
Perhaps Ball should go as well. He could keep up with you in this
He's just
brush.
Like, Ball, is that alright with you?
I think it's actually a good idea. Out of character, ending character. I guess they think of that as a great idea. He can walk full speed. He can walk faster than Gale.
Ball just says, yes, the ring of thickets. I don't know if thicket is quite the right
I was
word.
thinking, I said brush. I didn't really know what
Brush,
the right way
we
to
don't
say
use
it was.
that word in Australia.
Well, who cares? Oh my god, this is...
No, it's like a... No, there's a dense ring of foliage around this entire forest. It's quite simple for me to travel through it, so I believe that it is a good idea for me to travel with Gale.
Not to mention he's very perceptive.
Yes, they're the two with the highest perception.
They are
so...
both great scouts, especially in the brush. I usually wouldn't send... I think it was a good idea to send Ball. But no, in the brush I would.
Yeah, no. It's because of his race.
And the druid abilities, man.
Oh, and yeah.
And the talk with plants, you're right, that's another thing.
Yeah, the plant speech is pretty useful.
It's a custom ability.
Yep.
Alright, so we're gonna assume they're a little bit separated, basically.
Yeah. So we're gonna hang back and wait for them to come back and report to us.
Alright.
Okay.
So who are we with right now?
Just for the sake of actually role-playing, we'll say
We're with the group with
main
people
group.
I can actually control.
The people, that I don't have to talk to myself with.
Oh,
Ball doesn't talk that much anyway.
That's true. Actually, he's probably talking about...
He's probably talking about grass.
Dara's gonna say he's probably boring Gale to death about grass about now.
It was just like, yeah, that does seem to be his favorite subject.
Oh, poor child.
He's kind of naive for a ancient being.
Well, he did grow up in the forest, right?
Well, grow up...
exist in the forest.
Yeah. It's not like he was born exactly. He was created by a god. And just kind of plonked down in a forest.
So, yes, I remember when we met him.
Just like, what was that like?
It was interesting. He wasn't quite as friendly as he is now.
Sandy's like, had no social skills. Like, none. It was fucking horrible.
Quite right, yes. No, none whatsoever.
He told us he wouldn't be following us pretty much anywhere unless it had grass and trees.
Which he kept that up for a while, but...
Quite a while, yeah. But, when it came to a huge sewer plant monster that was making monstrosities that looked exactly like him, he took it personally enough to follow us into the sewers and kill it.
That was quite the time.
Good times.
Yes.
And Imogen's
I didn't
just
quite
like,
enjoy being squeezed to death.
Imogen's just like, I'm pretty glad I missed out on that fight.
Darcy's gonna be like, I just missed out on that one.
Good thing, too. I don't think you'd like being down in the sewers any more than I would, Adara.
No, Claire is out of character. Would she know that igniting fire in like a sewer might ignite? Could that possibly happen too? If there's all the gas trapped down there, I was thinking.
Possibly, if there wasn't adequate
Would she be
ventilation.
smart enough to know that? I'd be being a fire. I figured she might.
I don't think she'd have had the personal experience to know that.
Is that more scientific knowledge?
Yeah, that's science knowledge. Santi and Imogen.
They wouldn't.
Actually, Imogen's not. No, Imogen's actually not that good at science.
Really? It's more fantasy type of.
Yeah, she's more good at history and
English
languages. Santi's better with science.
He's actually pretty smart, even though you wouldn't know it. What about the way he, like...
Yeah, the way he talks and swears and
that's
all that.
What I mean.
He's actually pretty smart, yeah. He just hides it behind his vulgarity.
By the way...
Not deliberately, he's just
thing,
very vulgar.
When I did change stats around at one point, I made his intelligence fully reflect that, and it's perfect for what I'm planning on his feats. I mean, if I'll run it by you, of course, since you're the DM.
You better, since he's my character.
But I just trust me. I know what I'm doing when it comes to fighters.
Okay.
Wizards, you're kind of on your own.
Yeah. Alright. So, Santi is going to say, it'll feel good to get this over and done with. Kind of feel like I've let Elbereth down by having to put it off for so long. I mean, it couldn't be helped. But
so, I don't see why... Well, I should say I do understand why you feel that way, but there's nothing you could have done.
No, I guess not. I mean, things kept coming up, and they were pretty important to deal with.
Sounds like the Silent King isn't too upset. He didn't, or wouldn't be upset at all.
Well, I hope not, because if not, we're kind of fucked. If he's upset and oh God. It's just, to be fair, if we'd come here earlier, we wouldn't be able to give him all the pertinent information about how the war is going down. We'd still think that it was just the centaurs warring with the fairies, and now we know that's just a big ruse, and it's a lot more fucking complicated. And yes, he's going to appreciate that knowledge.
I'm sure he will.
You better.
Reminds me.
Didn't deal with spiders to be told to fuck off.
Oh, what the hell. I'll do this. I was kind of muttering stuff. I'll just ask now. How do you think Sen's faring? I know you well enough. I feel I can ask you.
Well, of course. You can ask me anything you want, Seraph. But, fuck. I don't know. I mean, I hope he's doing the right thing. Tried to raise him to do the right thing.
I have full faith in him, from what I've seen.
Sandy kind of looks to Imogen. It's pretty clear from her expression that she doesn't have full faith in him anymore.
So, well, if he saw it, I'm assuming he saw it, or is this just between them?
No, it's just between them.
Okay, so Sarah won't comment on it.
Sandy's just...
Sarah's just going to try and believe in the best.
Yeah, Sandy's just going to say, I have to believe that he's going to make this as right as he can.
And the only reason I brought it up with Sarah is because when you mentioned the beginning of the quest, that kind of jogged my memory about him. I figured it would jog Seraph's.
Yeah. I hope he does the right thing, but I can't deny he's kind of the reason this war is happening. Well,
I don't know about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. What you're saying is correct, but
I mean,
wouldn't the forces have found a way to do so without Sen?
Well, yeah, but they wouldn't know exactly what the defenses of their enemies were.
Well, yes, that is unfortunate.
Sen told them everything about the Whispering Woods and what he knew about the Autumnlands as well. And that's a considerable amount. They know the size of our forces. They know our strategies. They know our weak points. They know the places that we're going to retreat to for safety. Well, we have to change everything.
Perhaps Sen knows theirs.
I have no doubt, but the second he steals away his fiancée, they're going to know he's abandoned them and changed their plans, just like we're changing ours.
True.
But there are some things he would have told them that can't be undone.
As with things he might know. I think it might be a good idea for someone to get in contact with him.
I'm not going to ask Imogen to do it. Imogen's
I was not going to suggest that.
You better fucking not, Sandy. You better not.
I'm just thinking more of his... shit. I forgot. Is it common knowledge that... his mother's Xanath. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Okay, it was his father. That's the big secret.
Yeah, his real father.
So,
yeah, everyone knows Xanath's his
I'm pretty sure Seraph and Imogen told Santi, and that was it.
Yes.
For the main party. So they're the only three that know.
Yes.
Okay, so Sarah's gonna be... Perhaps his mother can get in contact with him.
Yeah, I mean... If anyone would know she needs to be in contact with him, it's her. She's the most magical being in existence.
we might be able to know a little bit more about our enemy before they strike.
Yes, she has many powers, and I mean, Imogen probably knows even more than me about that. Imogen's just like, I can only guess at what she can do. She taught me a lot, but she never really tipped her hand and showed me what she was capable of.
Dara's gonna be like, well, she just showed me what I needed to know.
I'm just like, I think that's really basic to her. I get the feeling that she could change the fabric of existence. Sandy's like, see, that would be very helpful to us. And it was just like, yeah, but I don't think she's gonna do it.
Seraph, I'm thinking, might actually have a better understanding because he talked with Sylphias and other gods, so he kind of knows that they're almost like it's almost like a cosmic obligation or something, that they just don't change the fabric of existence.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Imogen's gonna add, sure, she's helping us in a sense. She's sending for allies, and we're going to be helped by them, but there's no way she would ever use her powers to change things so that we would just win or defeat evil, or, well, not evil, but you know what I mean.
So it's gonna be like, they seem pretty evil to me.
Well, there's evil and then there's darkness, and they're two completely different things.
That I can agree on.
And I just think there's a lot of baggage that goes along with her using her powers, I would say. So I can see why she doesn't. Adara, probably has absolutely no idea what she means, but...
Oh, yeah. That's why. Adara was just showing the elemental stuff.
Yeah.
So she knows maybe some very basic things from her.
Well, she would know, like everyone knows, that Xanath's the most magical being.
Yeah, of course.
She just doesn't know Xanath's also a god.
I'm just sort of playing Seraph more than Adara right now.
Yeah, of course, I know.
If I think of any funnier comments, I'll go with her.
But we've got to acknowledge that Adara is there.
Of course. Shit, that's why I'm not as good as you at role-playing multiple characters at once.
No, but that's what I was doing I was just saying, like...
Yeah.
I was just mentioning she wouldn't know.